Each week we play a chapter or a section of a game, and then we talk about it on stream.
Yep.
It's going to be extremely spoilerific.
Yes.
So make sure you skip to the next time code, because all of these are time coded now.
Are they now?
They are. I've been going through time coding the entire thing.
Nice.
So you can skip Game Club. If you want to skip Game Club, just click on the next link down below in your podcatcher of choice.
Yes.
And if you're listening to this live, better plug your ear holes.
Yes.
So we've been playing Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
And I think we're going to talk about 3 chapters this
I
time.
think we should just wrap her up.
We're just going to wrap it. We both finished the game last
Yeah.
night. Well, I finished it last night. You finished it the night before.
Yes.
And you sent me the Snapchat. It's like, wrapped it. I'm
well,
like, oh,
I
guess
got
I'm
to
going.
the end of the chapter and I was like, man, it feels like there's not that much left.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, let me keep going. And then it was just like, I don't know, maybe another hour and it was all done. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I probably made the right choice here. But yeah, I did wrap it up.
Yeah.
So this would be chapter 14, 15, and 16.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good time for sure. I enjoyed it. Chapter 14 is the assault on, I don't even know. Is this in the Nova Corps headquarters, I guess? Is that where we're
no,
at?
14
Or is it just in the large,
It's just in the large
what's it called?
cult ship.
Yeah.
What the hell's it called?
I can't even remember.
Neither can
The
I.
flagship, the Sacrosanct, yeah.
So we just got off the planet after fighting Fin Fang Foom and getting Lady Hellbender on our side.
Yeah.
And now we're on the Milano, talking to the crew.
Yes. And what was God, what's her name? I keep forgetting her name.
Mantis?
Mantis, yeah. She was talking about various futures as she
Yeah.
does. And what she was saying, she was talking about one of them was going to pee or something like that. I was like, what is even happening? Like someone would say something and then there would be some pee.
Yeah.
And I think she was implying Gamora peed herself or something like that. It was very weird.
In this time, Rocket's like, hey, Quill, let me borrow your tunes. I need to
Oh,
concentrate.
yeah.
No, I need to concentrate. No, just let me borrow your tunes. I just need to concentrate.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, so he borrows his tape
Walkman.
deck, his walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Which was an interesting choice leading further in the chapter when it's like all of a sudden it has a movie score to it. Like when you're fighting, it's not...
The 80s music, the rock music has stopped.
And it's just like an actual orchestrated like movie now.
Yeah.
Which was interesting to hear, but...
So the plan is someone's going to cause a distraction. We're just going to turn the engines off and just coast into the ship.
Yes.
Because there's a huge armada outside the front.
Yeah.
And so we start, everyone's in the cockpit. Suddenly Rocket's outside.
Yeah, he I don't understand how he didn't die.
No, he's genetically modified.
I guess so, but he wasn't like wearing a helmet or anything, and we could still hear him talking. So I mean, I guess he has a head like a communicator or whatever, but it didn't look like he was wearing anything to protect himself.
No.
I guess like whatever, it's science fiction show, so you know
he's resistant to resistant to outer
or we
space.
just couldn't see his little
Yeah.
force field or whatever. But he's outside like, hey, I'm going to distract him. I rigged up your cassette tape to like broadcast on all frequencies and I'm going to let it loose and they're going to get all upset by it. And I was like, okay, that's an interesting idea, I guess. Will it work? I don't know.
So it's got these 2 little antenna and 2 little rockets on it.
Yeah.
He just sets it and
He just lets it go and it's flying away.
Blasting rock music.
So there's some of the choices they do in this are so weird. Like, so now the ship's engines are cut. Somehow we can still sort of control the ship, even though the engines aren't working. It's not like the spaceship has a rudder or something like that.
Yeah.
But we can still move it a bit. But then the other thing too is like, okay, we're in the emptiness of space and they're whispering like, okay, we got to sneak through. And it's like, well, first of all, they can't hear nothing. There's no air in space for the sound waves to go through. So they wouldn't hear you, first of all. They do say something about that.
Yeah,
like,
the rocket's like, look, that's not how it works, but I'm still going to whisper.
Yes.
I don't want to be the guy to F this up.
Exactly. But then the other thing is like all the ships and stuff are flying by and you can hear all like the spaceship ships going by. And I get why, like it would be weird.
Yeah.
You're used to like, you see something fly by, you hear the sound, but like, it was just like, as soon as that happened, I was like,
my suspension of disbelief.
yeah, this is not the way this would go. and the other thing too is in this whole scene is like you see the spaceship you're flying, and in the bottom left there's a small overlay of the little rocket flying away of the like little cassette. It's like, why is it showing me the little camera view of this rocket?
Oh yeah, that was funny. It's just,
was
I think
so
it's
weird.
meant to be like, well, there goes the tic tac. See ya.
So we're trying to sneak our way in, and then all of a sudden, Fing Fang Foom flies in and eats it. And at first I was like, oh god, what is attacking us now? And then it's like, oh, it's Lady Hellbender with her army of space monsters.
Yeah, Lady Hellbender comes in and all of a sudden, engines on, let's go.
Coming to distract everybody. So I'm wondering, like, what changes if we hadn't recruited Lady Hellbender here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because obviously it would make a difference.
I think because... Yeah, right.
So the one thing
you just coast in, easy peasy.
It might be different. Like Lady Hellbender might be someone that no matter what happens, you recruit.
Yeah, could be.
Because later in the chapter, when something happened, I'm not gonna say what it was. There was a pop-up that said like, "This happened because you did this earlier." Yeah.
I mean, I did it as well.
Yeah. So but we'll talk about that when we get to it. So now that the tunes are gone, everyone's attacking, we can fire up the engines and go in balls to the wall.
Yeah.
So we're flying in and shooting, and we're doing like a space battle scene, which again was just like terrible controls of flying through space.
Just an on rails fly through space. Sometimes a square will pop up.
It was just like shooting spaceships and like you could dodge, but like what was the point?
No point.
It made no sense. But eventually we fly inside the ship and we land.
Yep. And Mantis takes off with the ship.
Yes,
we all jump out and Mantis.
Mantis is like, I got this. I wonder if she's like, I wonder if this is one where I don't crash or something like that. It's always like, I wonder if this is the one. Oh, and that's the other thing on the ship. When you can talk to Mantis about, you know, what's happening, and you can ask her like what happened on the planet and whatever. And one of the lines was like, you know, they say like Peter's okay with it or whatever, and he's like, well, when am I not happy with it? And she says like, oh, the one time that I'm your ex-wife or something like that. Yeah. And he's like, what? And then Rocket's like, I think she's screwing with you, Peter. But yeah, so we land on the ship and it's like basically just fighting our way through to get to Raker.
Adam Warlock.
Well, I guess we're trying to find Warlock. Yeah, the whole
thing, because we can't defeat Raker without Warlock.
Yeah.
So we're basically, because Rocket tagged him in the butt with the scanner, we know where he is on the ship. So we are going through and going to try and find him. Yeah.
So as soon as you land on the ship too, all of a sudden Groot's like, here's my final ability. You're welcome. Like there was no sort of like, everyone else had a story beat. Like Rocket overcame his sort of self-centeredness. Drax was like freed from his wife and like gave up the promise and everything. I can't remember what Gamora was, but I think it was because she was so pissed off about
she went berserk from
killing her sister and everything like that.
The kid getting taken by the promise.
And Groot's like, I am Groot.
Well, his story beat was he healed Fin Fang Foom, which I guess gave him the ability. He learned that ability.
But like, shouldn't we have learned it at the end of that battle then? Right. So anyways.
I mean, in any case, this is the next battle after.
Yeah, I guess so. But it was just like very weird that like you land and you get control and instantly it's like, here you go. You've got his last ability. Enjoy.
So you do a lot of fighting on the ship trying to get down to Adam Warlock. And before you get down to Adam Warlock, all of the fights I found, the voice lines were just coming hot and heavy, and they were all the same.
Yeah, it's they
didn't record enough voice lines up
or
there.
Just like we'll have them say it once a battle. Yeah, like when I'm fighting those robots, you'd be like, I feel like I've been shooting this guy for minutes now. It's like, well, you have been. Yeah. But
you don't have to say it every time, every robot, at least twice per robot.
So during these fights, you're switching your, you know, like there's a guy in the distance. Okay, I'll bring him to me because he's sniping me. I'll kill him. But it was during this final segment of the game, I was like, oh, it tells you how to kill every enemy. Like above every enemy's energy or next to every enemy's energy bar has a little symbol. And it's like, oh, that's a lightning bolt. I should be using lightning on this guy. Yeah, I just noticed that in this battle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. This would have changed things a lot. So the last battles went a lot faster than maybe the other ones I did.
Yes.
But I did get knocked out twice, but both times Groot was like, I am Groot. And he just brought me back to life. So
nice.
It's just a lot of miscellaneous battling through here.
Oh, yeah.
There was not really any story beats or anything like that. It was just like, we got to rescue Nikki. Let's go. We can make it happen. And you could tell that they were trying to play it up like they were a team now, because you didn't have to ever tell Gamora to cut down cables. She just was like, I got this. She cut down the cables. Groot would make the bridge. There was nothing for Drax to do, but no. And then Rocket would be like, I'll crawl through here and open up the door or whatever. Whereas before you had to manually tell him like, hey, Rocket, do you think you can crawl through there?
Yeah. And we get to a part after we've been like walking outside in space and like walking through the base and outside and inside and all over.
And again, all the graphics and everything, they look incredible. Like the game's look is great.
Oh yeah. And you get everyone actually gets put into a new suit when you land. A new gold and white suit.
Yeah, it was like the Guardians team costumes, I guess, for this game.
Because you're unified now.
Yes. They just sort of came out of nowhere. Though I did find suits in this ship too.
Yeah, me too. Speaking of nowhere, there's this part where...
So it's basically a gauntlet of enemies come out.
Yeah, like so many that you're like, okay, we're not going to
drops like
these guys. What the hell?
3 groups of 9, and then there's 4 of the magic guys come out, and I'm just like, holy shit, this battle's going to suck.
Yeah. And then suddenly you hear Cosmo. Yes. You're like, oh my God, Cosmo's coming. And he shows up
flying
nowhere.
Yeah, the head of nowhere.
Nowhere's head. Like the whole space base.
Yeah, he's flying it, and apparently it can shoot a death laser out.
Yeah, he just blasts the entire armada down.
So he destroys them all. We don't have to do this fight. And at this point, in the top right of the screen, it pops up, Cosmo came to your rescue, basically, because you freed him when we were helping him escape from the promise earlier. So, like, what happens if you don't rescue Cosmo there?
Yeah, do you have to fight that entire thing?
Do you have to fight all those guys? Or is there just, like, a random ship crashes and it's just Cosmo's not part of the game anymore, you know? So, it was very interesting that was the only time I seen that in the whole game. Like, I saw lots of times where it said, like, you know, Raccoon will remember this or whatever. But that was the first time where it said, like, this happened because you did this. I don't remember any other time that happening. So it was very interesting.
There's been a couple times for me that's happened.
I must have just missed it when it happened.
It does pop up in the corner, like super small.
Yeah. Like, hey, it was not obvious, maybe.
Yeah, you get through that little area and a bunch more fighting, and then a ship crashes, and you have to fight a couple of the big robots.
Yeah, and again, it's just like, let's extend the game's length like 10 more minutes here.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah, is that eventually when you get to the part where we have to, like, pull the plugs to get through the shield, basically?
That might be after...
I mean, I think once you get to Raker, that's it. You don't do any more adventuring.
No, but there's one part... I can't remember who brings... Lady Hellbender comes.
Mm-hmm.
She's like...
Oh yeah, she's got your Walkman. Here's your tunes.
Yeah, and then she throws it at you, and you have to do this little quick time events.
I guess Fing Fang Foom barfed it up for her or something because he ate it.
And then the most epic shot of the whole game
that
comes
was
in, and
just
I laughed
like,
so hard.
Crap.
It was so cheesy.
Yeah.
So I laughed so hard.
Peter Quill like jumps up to catch his tunes, and he's like catching his tunes, and in the background you can see Fing Fang Foom like shooting out his laser beam, and there's an explosion going on, and the tunes are just like ramping up. Yeah, it was pretty hilarious.
It is the most epic shot of the whole thing, and it's so funny.
It was totally funny.
So cheesy and hilarious.
Exactly.
I loved it.
So I was loving that part for sure.
Yeah. And then we go down into the base.
Yep.
And we find Mr. Warlock getting just pinned up there.
Yeah, he's like powering.
I think he's just imprisoned down in the mine.
Well, I think they must. Well, is he imprisoned or something? I don't know.
Yeah, he's got his arms latched up.
But they weren't slurping power out of him?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So we got to release Adam Warlock from his... Like, oh, actually, we didn't even have to fight. We just flew down on the drones.
Yeah.
And we're like, Raker was talking to him, and Raker's just like, all right, enough of you. I'm out of here. He left, and we just landed, and we're like, beep, boop, boop. Okay, you're free. Let's go. So we take Adam Warlock with us to go down to fight Raker.
Yeah.
And we get down to...
And now it's once we get into, we get to this area and chapter 15 starts.
Yeah, I was just like, well, this is just the boss battle time. Like the whole chapter is going to be a boss battle. So I was like, I'll just continue on. It was a little more than just a boss battle, but it was fine anyways.
Yes, we have to. Nikki comes in. She's in the same contraption that she was in before.
Yeah, she's ready to get juiced.
And the
Raker
Magus comes out of her.
Yes. But
it starts just enveloping everything.
Yeah.
Envelops the whole station. Envelops everything outside of the station.
Yeah. It's taken over the galaxy, basically.
Yeah. And then Raker imprisons you guys, the Guardians, in a force field.
Hits us in a force field. Was Warlock in that force field too? I don't remember.
Yeah, he was in there too.
Okay, so Raker's like juiced to the max right now. If he can lock us all down.
Yeah.
So, we're getting like, it's physically like torturing us in this thing. And Peter can hear like Corell, like, help her, you have to help Nikki. And we get into like Nikki's promise, basically.
Yeah,
which we've already been in.
We go back to Nikki's promise and we start doing the same things that we did before, but now we really have to get her out of the promise, make her see that this isn't real.
Yeah, so you first have to set it up again. This is the birthday scene where you're setting up birthday for Corell.
Yeah, get the present, get the candles lit, fix the holo projector.
And then, you set it all up and Peter's kind of playing along, but he's like, how am I going to, convince her this isn't real?
Yeah.
Corell bangs on the door again, and she goes to answer the door, and they have a heart-to-heart about it, and like, And
they realize Peter finally realizes that Corell's not coming back. She's just gone.
Well, that and Nikki's not actually Peter's daughter.
Yeah. that was a huge one. It's like, oh, she's not your daughter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Like, oh.
Yeah. She's like, I just adopted her. I found her on the ship.
Yeah. She was a war
She
orphan.
never said, though. Like, she never, like, Corell never was like implied it or anything.
No, not at all.
It was all like, it wasn't even Peter that said it. It was Drax or whoever was just like,
they were adding 1 + 1 and got 4.
Yeah, exactly. So Peter's, sad about it, whatever. And it was very like emotional scene for sure. So Peter's like, oh, she's not my daughter, whatever. So he's like, how do I get her out of here? So you have options like, and I sort of like was trying to be nice about it and like let her work her way through it. But by the end, it's like, it's not working. What do you have to do to get her out here? So it's like, I'm going to be a total peckerhead and like destroy the party and like smash the gift and smash the cake and destroy everything.
Yeah.
And Nikki finally is like, okay, I agree. It's not real. At first she's like, I would prefer to even have the idea that she comes back is better than the real world. So I'm kind of going to stay here. But she eventually comes around and then breaks out of the promise and she's freed from it. And so what I didn't get is, why did she have flaming hair?
I don't know. Yeah, she breaks out of the promise, but she's still full of the
juice?
faith energy.
Yeah, she's still juiced.
Yeah.
She looked like she was like, I don't know. She looked like Starfire from DC Comics.
Yeah, kind of.
So
now the boss fight starts. We start with a couple of just regular unifiers. There's 4 or 5 of them that we have to fight. Fairly easy.
Yeah, I don't think I really had a problem there. The worst thing that would happen for most of these battles was like, oh, Drax is frozen and I got to go thaw him out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I had so much, like, I would just be like, okay, like his ultimate's ready to go. Time to blast everybody. His ultimate is by far the best of them all. It just will hit and kill somebody and then it'll start shooting at somebody else.
Yeah.
So we would do that. We take out all the guys. Finally, those 4 guys.
Oh, I guess this is when Nikki comes out of the contraption. Warlock goes in to tries to start absorbing Magus back into him.
So he's doing that, and then we defeat the 4 guys. This whole time, Nikki's like, Raker, don't do it. You don't have to die. Like, just give up. You know. And we're fighting, and then Raker at the end of the battle is just like, nah, dude. And he goes into like the juice and slurps it up.
Slurps up the juice, gets all powerful.
Yeah. So he's like all like Rakered up.
Yeah.
And then we have to fight Raker.
Yeah.
This battle was just like, I don't know.
It was he's got 3 health bars and a shield that he pops up.
Yeah, it was just
I died once because I got blinded.
Yeah, the blinding sucked.
Yeah, you get blinded. You can't lock in anything. You can't control your team at all.
So I think I got kind of lucky on the first one. Is that right before the blinded started, I had launched Rocket's ability, so he just like was lighting him up in the darkness, right? But like even just trying to dodge his attacks in the darkness was pretty tough.
Yeah, because he one hits you. I got 1 hit.
Yeah.
Once.
I don't think I got 1 hit, but there was I think maybe in the darkness you could still rally up, maybe, because I think I rallied up because I was very low on health. But you know, the fight was not anything particularly interesting.
No, definitely not. Just super simple.
Yeah, so
you dodge his attacks, lock him down, hit him with everything.
Exactly.
And
so
then repeat.
Yeah, you knock him out and he's like knocked on the ground, and Nikki's like, "Oh, Raker, you know, just give up on the promise." And he does not give up on the promise till the end.
No.
I think his promise is he wanted to see his brother or something.
His son, I think.
Son brought back to life. So he's like looking up at the Magus that just, Nikki's like, "Look at it. It's not real. It's fake." And Magus is looking up at it and he's like, "You did it." And then he dies. Well, you know, I guess he dies. I don't know.
I don't know either. It doesn't really allude to his death.
It's not like they show him throwing his body into space or something like that. So the implication he's dead anyways.
Yeah. And Warlock finally, at the end of that, Warlock
slurps
finally
up
slurps up the rest of Magus.
Yeah.
And they do the heroic
victory walk
towards the camera.
Yeah, it was very like, okay, I get it, they're celebrating, but just the way they were all animating and they're just doing little fist pumps occasionally.
Oh, yeah,
it was like so
like,
bad.
What are you doing?
But so you're walking down and there's people, like aliens are cheering and dancing, and I guess it was supposed to be like at the end of Star Wars, like whatever. But as you're walking down, you sort of like, oh, there's Cosmo, and Cosmo talks to you saying like, oh, you know, here are my puppies, and, you know, thank you for helping, and, you know, congratulations. And then you walk further down and then there's Lady Hellbender, and then who else did you talk to on the
some of the Nova Corps.
Yeah, the Nova Corps guys are like, aren't you Drax the Destroyer? And he's like, no, it's just Drax now. But it was like, okay, so what happened if we didn't recruit Cosmo?
Yeah.
Like, is just nothing there? You just keep walking, and then anyways, it was very interesting.
Yeah.
So they get back, the Milano's there, they're getting on the ship, and Peter like pulls out a business card and throws it through the space and throws it like, you know, the Guardians of the Galaxy were here. And then the credits roll. But as the credits are rolling, it's like, oh, wait, something's wrong here. Sometimes the names change on the credits roll to say Magus. It's like, what's going on here? So then once the credits roll a bit, they cut back to the ship, and Adam Warlock's like, ugh. And he's like, I just have a touch of indigestion.
Yeah.
But then it finds out after a while, oh, Magus is taken over Adam Warlock, and now we got to fight Adam Warlock as Magus to save the universe. And it's kind of like, well, what do we got to do here as they're fighting, you know? Like they're discussing what do we got to do, and eventually
it's pretty easy fighting. You just send out like little drones.
They're like one-hit drones basically all the enemies from the game, just in like goo form. But eventually it's like, oh, he needs to go like Magus needs to go back in the, is it the Soul Gem? What?
Yeah, the Soul Stone.
Soul Stone, yeah.
One of the Infinity Stones.
One of the Infinity Stones, because that's what he came out of. And it's like, how do we get him into it? He needs to get closer, so we need to like aggravate him down, so he comes down to fight us. So I tried to do first the slow clap.
Oh yeah, I did the slow
clap. Which didn't do anything, because he's like, thank you for applauding me. And they're like, they don't know you're clapping ironically, like whatever. So eventually I had to ramp it up and just be totally like a doucher to him. Yeah. And he finally comes down, and it's like, okay, we got to hit him with the soul gem. What do we got to do? So there's another quick time event where like Nikki drops it by accident, and then like, I don't even remember, Rocket grabs it or hits it.
Shoots it.
He shoots it and it flips in the air, and then Gamora like hits it with her sword, and then you have to jump up and grab it. And again, it's just like not just like, but in the movie where Peter grabbed the Infinity Gem, and
there was all about the Power Stone in that one.
Yeah, in this one he doesn't have to hold hands with everybody to share the burden,
just the Soul Stone.
Yeah, so he grabs it and he smashes it into Magus.
Because Magus is angry and coming down at him.
Yeah, he's attacking him, so he gets slurped into the gem, and then we did it.
Yep.
We've saved the galaxy. We're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Roll proper Marvel Cinematic Universe credits.
Yes, but there is one scene before that, I think, unless it's after the credits. It is after the credits? Okay. So the credits roll, we do that, and then there's a scene where Peter's talking to himself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Trying to amp himself up like, oh, I got to be a dad now, basically. Oh, crap. Yeah. And so you have options about, you can either be really positive or really negative about it. Like, you know, I don't want a kid. I'm not ready to be a dad. Or like, yeah, I can be a dad. It's cool, right? So I did all the positive ones because the game is ending on a positive note. And it's like, you know, Gamora, she's an assassin, but she can take care of the girl stuff, you know, like she can relate to him. And you're not alone. You're not a single dad. You got the Guardians of the Galaxy with you.
Yeah.
So that whole thing happens. And then after that, I think they do the Polaroids where it shows like how everybody ended up, and it has a little like basically at the end of an 80s movie to be like, so-and-so went to college and they married and blah, blah. It's the same thing with this. Like, I don't even remember what they all were. Like, I can't even remember what any of them were really, but they were just like, you know, Rocket continues to work on technology and blah, 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 blah. It's that sort of stuff. So. But that was the ending of the game, and it was a nice wrap up finish to the game. I enjoyed it all. I think all the pacing and everything throughout the game was good, and the main thing was the gameplay. It was like not that good.
Yeah, the worst part about the game was the game.
Yeah, it was passable.
Yeah,
like there was so I don't know if you found the secret room. There was a secret crack you could go through, and there's just all this materials for building your stuff. There was like 6 piles on the ground.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that.
I think there was a costume too back there, if I'm not mistaken. But there was this one crack, and I go through it, and Peter's like, I hit the jackpot! And he's picking up all these materials, and he's getting the thing. He's like, oh man, this is great. And then you go out, and there's a workbench there. But it's at this point, like...
Oh, yeah, you've already got everything.
You got everything, like... Why even? I guess maybe if you didn't find the stuff, it's a good like final fill up.
I wonder if because once we go back to the main menu after the credits, New Game Plus shows up.
Yeah, there is a New Game Plus.
So I wonder if there's more abilities
that
you can unlock.
No, I don't think so. I started New Game Plus, but I also Googled it just to see.
Yeah, it's
just basically you get to play the game again, but everything you unlocked you already have. So you have all the abilities, you have all the weapons, you have all the costumes, you have everything like that.
You can read
anything you
through
missed.
Find you didn't.
But even still, you can just do chapter select to find stuff you missed.
Yeah,
so.
and then you can do the whole story over again. Yes, make different choices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was just really. I mean, it's not like you have to do that much searching around to find that materials.
No.
So it was very like kind of pointless at that point. But I guess maybe. We did more exploring than the game expected, and we had everything unlocked already, but whatever. I just was like, well, what's the point in all this?
Yeah.
Oh, the one thing too. Oh, I forgot. How did it end? The very end. I'm cruising through space, and the ship died.
It died?
Yeah, it stopped moving forward, and it starts tumbling through space. It's like, oh, God, the engines were cut. And it's like... I can't remember who, Rocket or whatever, is like, no, I think it was Mantis. Was Mantis still on the ship? I don't even remember. But anyone's like, did you not pay your Nova Corps fine?
Did you not pay your Nova Corps
No,
fine?
I didn't.
I paid my Nova Corps fine.
I was like, I'm not paying those guys.
To me at all.
So what did you just keep flying away?
I just kept flying into space.
Yeah, I got disabled and I didn't, because they were like, that sounded like a Nova Corps disabler. And then someone was like, did you not pay your Nova Corps fine? And that's how it ended. Yeah,
that's hilarious. Yeah, I totally paid my Nova Corps fine.
Yeah, so no, I totally didn't. I was like, no, forget these guys.
No, you didn't have enough money at the end.
No,
though.
I did have enough money to pay the fine, but I just was like, no, I'm not paying these guys. F those guys, because that was right after they're like, we can't help you. Bye. So, but I started up New Game Plus just to look around at it. So the one other thing that happens is right at the end when you start. I don't know if it's right at the end or right at the start of New Game Plus. It brings up the little recap book.
Oh yeah, your
which I
book.
never looked at ever.
No, me neither.
And it was like, so they did a lot of effort to make it look cool, right? Because it has like write-ups of everything that's happened and then like cool drawings and everything. It was a lot of work for a thing that I never once looked at.
Yeah.
But then I was like, there's a whole bestiary and there's like a cast of characters. So I was like, oh, let me look at this. So apparently I missed a character.
Yeah.
Because I have one that's a question mark. And I missed an enemy.
Oh.
Yeah, there's 2 things I somehow missed in there.
You know who you missed?
No.
Lipless.
Lipless?
Yes.
Who's Lipless?
Remember we go to nowhere for the first time.
Yeah.
I told you that when Rocket's in the bar, I went to
the
bar
guy
right
that
away.
sings or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You missed him.
Yes, I did. Interesting.
I'll have to load that up and see if I missed anything now.
Yeah. So the other one was that one woman that has the orb for a head and she has like hands for a face.
Yeah.
Her name was Ruby Thursday.
Ruby Thursday?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Isn't it Ruby Tuesday?
That's the song, yes. Yeah. But the character's named Ruby Thursday.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a cool game. I might play it again just to do all the doucher maneuvers and see how it changes. But that's a lot of effort to go through to play through the game again.
Yeah. I don't know if I will play it again just because we're going to be starting up the new Game
Club.
Yes. New Game Club Plus.
What's the new Game Club game going to be?
I thought we were doing
Alan Wake?
Alan Wake.
Yes, let's do it. Alan Wake. Let's do it. Alan Wake is the one we're going to do next for Game Club.
Yep. So next week, make sure it's on Game Pass.
It is not on Game Pass. I don't think. But it is currently on sale on Xbox right now for $10 off. And it is available on the Epic Store for $39.99 Canadian. So it's not outrageously priced.
$39.99 Canadian?
Yes, I
can
believe
buy
so.
it on Steam for $17.
No, that's not the remaster. That's the original.
Oh.
So you can play the original. It's the same game, just not the 2020 to 21 update.
Well, I want to play the 2021 update.
Yeah, so you got to get it on Epic. So you can play the original Alan Wake or you can play the remaster. I've already beaten Alan Wake. I'm going to get the remaster. So if you want to play it on the cheaper version, that's fine. It's the same game, just it won't have the updated graphics.
No, give me 4K 60.
I mean, it's going to be 4K 60, but like a not that good of a looking game because it's not a remake. It's a remaster. But it's available. The remaster's on Epic right now. It's for sale on Xbox right now. And you can also play it on PS5. The remake is available on there for the regular price. So the game is broken up into episodes, I think. So I think we're going to do one episode, but we'll have to double check and see. There might be chapters in the episode, so it might not be the full episode. I can't remember how long they last. So keep an eye on the Discords. We'll let you know what we're going to do for exactly how much we're going to play anyways. But I'm ready for Alan Wake because I want to get prepared for Alan Wake 2. And be careful, don't accidentally download Alan Wake's American Nightmare because there's virtually no story in that.
Okay.
It's not the one you want to play.
Yep.
But I'm excited. It's been a long time, and I think I would like to play it just so I can be ready for Alan Wake 2, as well as I want to play Quantum Break and Control because they're all in the same universe.
Oh, yes. And we already all own Control.
Yeah, I think so. And Quantum Break, I believe, is on Game Pass. Or it was anyways. So Quantum Break is the one where they had like TV episodes in between the gameplay parts that had like real actors like what's his name from Game of Thrones, like Littlefinger and stuff like that.
Nice.
So yeah, Alan Wake.
Very good.
Be
That's
ready
what we're going to play next week.
I'm excited.
Woo!
But yes, what do you like? Let's say we're reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy, like on a 10-point scale. What would you give it? Or would you just say like recommended, not recommended? What would you say?
I'd probably give it a 6.
A 6? Wow, that low, eh?
The gameplay, like, the gameplay really holds it up.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just not good.
Yeah,
it's okay.
The gameplay
passable.
is fine.
It's passable, which is why it gets a 6. But I don't. It's just you play it for the story.
Yeah,
you play it for the story and looking around, and because you're a Marvel fan.
Yeah, so you'd say like 6, but recommended.
Yeah, 6, but recommended.
Yeah. The gameplay is like definitely the low point. I don't know if I'd go that low for the gameplay, but yeah, I would recommend it, even as a guy who doesn't really like Marvel too much anymore. I mean, there's some Marvel things I enjoy, Moon Knight.
I love all things Marvel.
Yeah. I liked it. I also like that it wasn't like. I think the main thing I don't like about Marvel now, especially the movies, is just like you got to watch every fucking movie.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it was just like, okay, there's a reference to like other things, but it's just like you don't need to have watched any of it. Well, that's not true. There was some things where I was like, oh, I didn't know, Gamora killed Nebula.
Yeah, the whole game is not based in the MCU.
Mm-mm.
It's a whole different universe. So
I don't even know if it's part of the Marvel
canon,
comic universe, basically. I think it's just its own thing. I don't know. It's different than Star Wars, where all the Star Wars stuff is canon now. So yeah. I guess maybe one day they'll do that for Marvel, but not yet.
Not yet. Nope.
So
make sure
recommended.
You start playing Alan Wake.
And
we'll see how far we actually get. See how long the chapters are. Or
I'm excited.
Episodes, and we'll see what
happens. Been a long time since I played Alan Wake. Very good.
Very good.